Lewis Hamilton gets his wish as FIA changes F1 rule on lapped cars overtaking safety car. Formula One bosses have made changes to a specific rule regarding the role of lapped racers during a safety car period. The news is likely to be greatly received by Lewis Hamilton and Mercedes, who missed out on the 2021 title in a situation which saw lapped cars dealt with controversially by race director Michael Masi at the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. After Nicolas Latifi's crash with just a few laps to go, the safety car was deployed and all the cars bunched up together. Initially, Masi told those cars which were a lap behind the other that they were not allowed to overtake. That meant the order of the racers behind the safety car was not a true reflection of race positions. For example, there were 5 cars between the race leader Hamilton and second-placed Max Verstappen when the yellow flags first began to fly. Masi later went back on his initial call and signaled for those 5 drivers to move past the safety car. That allowed Verstappen to close right up to his title rival, and gave him a much better chance of overtaking. Peculiarly, however, 2 other lapped cars behind Verstappen and another further back in the pack were not allowed to overtake and were forced to stay in their positions. Masi then restarted the race for the final lap, despite those lapped cars remaining in their positions. Mercedes were incensed about the unprecedented move. They felt it had been done simply to allow for a one-on-one scrap between Hamilton and Verstappen, the latter of whom had the advantage of fresh soft tyres on his Red Bull. Their official protests were waved away and Verstappen's race and title wins were upheld. The stewards did acknowledge, however, that the regulations at the time may not have been applied fully by Masi. Now, the wording of the rule has been changed to avoid a repeat of those farcical scenes in the future. Instead of saying any cars that have been lapped by the leader will be required to pass the cars on the lead lap and the safety car, the rules now state that all lapped cars must be allowed to overtake. The changes is one of a number made by F1 bosses in response to the controversial end to last season. The biggest move made was to replace Masi as race director ahead of the new season. FIA President Mohammed bin Sulayem declared last month that the Australian would be replaced, and given a new role within the organisation. Instead, 2 people will now share the role and be assisted by a familiar face who worked with Masi's predecessor, the legendary Charlie Whiting. I would like to inform you that a new race management team will be put in place starting in Barcelona for the test session, bin Sulayem said. Neil Swittich and Eduardo Freitas will act alternatively as race director, assisted by Herbie Blash as permanent senior advisor.